Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and loads going on the channel as always. We've got the worms have joined our ordinary apps. The worms by Marty Sinclair. Marty Sinclair, that's an incredible hybrid that I've just invented. Marty Sears and James Sinclair have each contributed a worm. Marty's has an intriguing rule about a glow digit, and James is just a bunch of really high quality puzzles. Do check them out. Marty's is a little harder, I would say, but for $1 each, you get the chance to wrestle with some of the great minds, and those can be accessed via our apps. If you are on iOS or Android, go to AppStore or Google Play and download the CTC app, and then you'll find those there. Along with all of our other apps, including Fog of War, the latest one, Thermo Sudoku would be more relevant to today's, I think. And what else have we got? We've got a Patreon where we've got the rather fantastic Yin Yang Journey Sudoku hunt, puzzle and Sudoku hunt by Itrio. It's great fun. Do attempt that as well. Loads of other content on Patreon, including connections videos and crossword videos. And one more thing to mention, well, SVEN'S SUDOKU PAD and our merchandise, both worth mentioning. And the links under the video will take you to all of those. Now, today's puzzle is by Fezzy. And we did a puzzle by Fezzy just over a month ago, I think, and it had a very similar rule set. So let's just be careful here. So normal Sudoku rules apply. 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every 3 by 3 box. Now, the fog will clear as you place correct digits. This is old style fog, where surrounding cells will get cleared as well. Now, there's an anti-night rule. So I'm going to fish out Mr. Nighty McNightface, who will sit on my desk and valiantly try and remind me in about 10 minutes from now, when I've completely not been able to work out how to make progress, that there's a night's move rule. That means those two digits can't be the same because they're a night's move apart. Same would apply to those two. Thermometer rule. So digits must increase along each pink thermometer, in this case, starting from the bulb. Who knows where they go through the fog, but we can see the starting points of 3 thermometers. Thermometers will never overlap with each other or themselves. How could a thermometer overlap with itself? It couldn't use the same cells, having gone on a detour, because it would disobey itself. I suppose it could cross itself. Anyway, thermometers will never overlap with each other or themselves, is what the rule says. I will obey it, and the thermometers will obey it even better. Now, what are the circles? A digit in a white circle represents the count of odd digits, a king's move away from the circle within that circle's 3 by 3 box. Actually, see, it's a good thing I'm reading this out to you. You've saved me, guys. If I'd just been skimming these rules, I wouldn't have noticed, I think, that within that circle's 3 by 3 box. And I might have said exactly the same thing when we did Fezzy's puzzle last time. It is ringing a bell. So this cell is counting the odd digits within a king's move away from the circle within that circle's 3 by 3 box. The reason I'm stressing away there means we're not counting our own cell when we add up the odd digits there and put a number in here. And the count can include other white circle digits. So for that one, we're counting all of those cells and saying how many odd digits are in them. They're all in the 3 by 3 box, but we're not counting for that one those two. They're in a different box. Okay, those are the rules. They're relatively straightforward. I think they're very similar to what Fezzy set last time, but we're going to have a go and see how we get on. And for that, I say, let's get cracking. So I think row 6 is important. Now, if we didn't have that rule about staying within the box, these digits could be anywhere between, well, 1 and 8 in the cases of these two, but they are limited. All of these three are limited anyway. In fact, they're limited to 1, 2, and 3. Now, what they are counting, let me just show you in color schematic. That is able to assess those 3 light blue cells. This one is able to assess those dark green cells. Now, there's a bit of overlap there. Actually, that's a very interesting point. I will come back to that. But it's counting the number of odd digits in the dark green cells, and this one is counting the number of odd digits in the light blue ones. This one is counting the number of odd digits there. So obviously all of those are maxed out at 3. Now this digit is allowed to count more cells, and that's a relief because obviously there's a 1, 2, 3 triple looking at it in the row. So this is either finding 4 odd digits. Oh, it's not finding 5 odd digits in these cells, because intriguingly 5 would be an odd digit itself and would be positing 5 more odd digits within the same box, but that would require there to be 6 different odd Sudoku digits, and there aren't. There are only 5. So that is a 4, and this will clear fog. Wow, here we go. So this bulb cannot be now 1, 2, 3 or 4. So we can mark it up as 5 or 6 and good lift up the rest of the thermo there. Now this thermo goes there, but that's less helpful. Right, so, oh, the thing I was going to do over here, I'm going to say that one of these is a 2. Now the reason I know that is because, let's just colour these cells again. The right hand circle is looking at the light blue cells and the left hand circle is looking at the dark green cells. Now those will obviously share a number of odd digits here, but these are different numbers because they're in the same box and row of Sudoku. So there must be a difference between whether these 2 cells that I've now highlighted have an odd digit or not, by which I mean one of them will have an odd digit and one will have an even digit. And these 2 numbers have to be 1 apart from each other. So it's either a 1-2 pair or a 2-3 pair. And that's going to mean that this one over the other side of the grid is not a 2. And what do we think about that? Well, it can now see 1 odd digit here, whatever this is. In fact, let's get rid of that colouring. That was just illustrative. Let's colour that, because we do know we know 2 digits in this puzzle for their parity. I do not understand what I'm meant to be able to do next to get going again, but let's try and work it out. This digit. I don't know. I don't see why it couldn't be another 1 or 3 or even 2 or 4. I suppose it can't be 5 again for exactly the same reasons as that one. So how about the thermo then? I'm a bit puzzled. This thermo goes to here, and that's not a problem because this is going to be quite high anyway. Oh, okay, what I have to consider is this group of 5 cells, which have to have 4 odds. That's what this is going to be about somehow. Right, here's a thing, here's a thing, here's a thing. This can't be a 6, because that would force this to be a 7 and this to be an 8. And now 6 and 8 would surround this. And those 3 aren't enough to get to the 4 total of odd digits. So that must be a 5 to begin with. Now that cleared some fog, and it was blooming useless fog. It ended that thermo and nothing else. But can we pull the, I don't think we can pull the stunt again. 5 is obviously one of the 4 odd digits. Oh, let's think about what can be on this, especially within the box. I was thinking this was virtually uninhibited, this little 4-cell thermo. But I'm going to pencil mark it now, and we will see what we will see. See, I thought this could go 6, 7, 8, 9. It cannot. For exactly the same reason this one couldn't. If that was a 6, this cell would have to be an 8, and that would be 2 even digits in the hinterland for this 4. And that's not allowed. We have to have 4 odds. We can't be dallying with 2 evens. So this can't be a 6, so it must be 1, 2 or 3. It can't be 5 or 4 by Sudoku. This next digit could be 2 or 3, but then it has to jump over 5 or 4 and be 6 or maybe 7. This one is 3, 6, 7 or 8. This is 6, 7, 8 or 9. And here is Mr. Knight telling me the stuff that I'd forgotten again. There must be a Knight's move constraint, because I'm not understanding how to get this cracked down on. Look at this. This is beautiful. Okay. Look at these yellow cells. That is a group of 4 because they all see each other in a way. They all see each other in a way that prevents them being each other. That one sees that one in the horizontal and those 2 by Knight's move. These 3 all see each other because they're all on the same thermo, and you can't have a repeated digit on a thermo. So they're all different. And that must mean something. And I don't know what it means. That's annoying. Oh, they all see this digit as well. That's what it means. This sees that one because it's on the same thermo, that one by Knight's move, and those 2 because they're in the same box. So this can't be any of the yellow 6, 7, 8, 9 quartet, and we're left with a 3. And then we can fill in the digits on the rest of its thermo. That is really pretty, actually. Okay, I'm now getting rid of the yellow cross quadruple. I'm going to color these orange. So what we know from this 4 is that one of these is orange, odd, and one of them is blue, even. And that blue one has to be an 8. So one of these digits is an 8, and these 3 are selected from 6, 7 or 9. This is on a thermo where it can't be a 9, and the number bigger than it at the end of the thermo is 7, 8 or 9. Now this is not necessarily a quadruple in the same way as that other crucifix was, because these 2 could be the same. I think they're the only 2 in that quadruple. What else though? Something else is going on. Maybe this thermo? If I was marking this up, I would say 6, 5, not 4 because of the Knight's move. Oh, and not 3 and not 2. So that's only got 5 or 6. Can't be 1 because we've got another one, or another place to go. And that is seeing 1 and 2. So this is 3, 4 or 5. So these options are a bit more limited again than I thought. If that was a 6, this would be a 6. This one, right. Where is this digit in box 5? I mean, that's a clever move. That's a clever move, Fezzi. Where is this digit in box 5? Remember, by Sudoku it sees that one. By Knight's move it sees those 2. And by ordinary numbers, Sudoku, it's not any of those digits. So it must be the same as that cell. So these 2 yellow cells are now the same, and this is 6 or 7. And let's go back to our little crucifix quadruple. That is now a 6, 7 pair on that, and this must be 8. And that must be 9 in the middle. There we go, that's beautiful. So that's not 9. Now I've got another 6, 7 pair, which both see that cell. Let's just think about that for a second. This is at least, well, probably exactly the 3rd cell of a thermo. And that it sees a 6, 7 pair and 9 and 1 and 8. So that is 2, 3, 4 or 5. But being the 3rd cell on a thermo, which must come through this, it can't be a 2. So we can pencil mark this one back to its origin, we've got another one of these funky cells here that is 1, 2, or 3 because it's in the corner of a box. Oh, there's all sorts going on to that. So hang on, let's do this first. It can't be 3 by Sudoku. So that's 1 or 2 counting the odds in these cells. This one is now 2 or 4. 5's too big, and it's now even, and now this can't be a 3. Isn't that pretty? Because those 3 can't be all odd because we placed an even one. So that's a 1. One of these is odd, one is even. These are not 1s. They're a 2 and a 3 pair. Now what does that mean for these little pairs? It means that both of these are even, because even the weakest one of these that doesn't have, oh no, both of them are odd, sorry, I'm forgetting what the rule means. Both of them are odd, because even the weakest one of these that doesn't have an odd digit sitting directly above it must count 2. So they're both odd, and by Sudoku, that is 5 or 7. This one, and okay, I've just spotted another weird triple. This one is not 1, 5, or the 3 that's in one of those cells. So this is 7 or 9. Now, here's the other weird triple that I've just spotted. They all see each other. These two are on the same thermo. These two are in the same box, and these two are nights move apart. So that is a 5, 6, 7 triple, and they all see this digit. And that can't be a 5 anymore. And yeah, that's strange, but it is right. Now, I must be able to count up how many odds and evens there are here. This is seeing, oh no, well I could if I knew whether there were 2 or 4 odd digits in these cells. I don't, so no it doesn't. I've got that 6, 7 pair, both looking at this cell, that one by night's move, this one in the same box. So this can't be 6, 7 or 3, 5, 4. It can't be 8 because then it would be a 2-cell thermometer ending in a 9 there, which won't work. It can't be 9 because there is a thermometer. So this is 1 or 2. I really have ruled everything out, I think. The 6, 7 pair, 3 and 5 and 4 on the night's move, 8 and 9 by thermo technology. So that is a 1 or a 2, and so is that, and they're a pair in the column. This puzzle's quite odd the way it's unfolding. Now, one of these is odd and one isn't because of this 1. If that was odd, it would have to be a 7. It sees all of those. If that was odd, it would be 7 or 9. And the other one is even. Maybe even that is significant, although I don't see how. Oh, it's quite odd. Oh, that 2, 3 pair is looking at that bulb, so that's a 4. We need a 1. We need an 8 in this box, and it can't be there by night's move. So 8's in one of those places. There's a 1 in one of those two. I don't know what 8 being in one of those means or does. Probably nothing. That is 6, 7, or 9. Oh, this is doing the job, isn't it? It's a white circle. Oh no, actually, let's nip back here. The other thing I'd forgotten back here is one of these is odd and one is even. So when we add up the odds in the row, we've already got 4, and the final odd or even is in one of those. So these are both even. Now we do this count again, and we've got 2 evens, we need 1 odd. That is 7 or 9, and the 6 in the row has to be in this yellow cell. That makes that a 7 and that a 6. Let's get rid of the yellow colouring. In fact, let's make it blue because it's even, and then we know where we're at. Have I just coloured one cell wrong somewhere? No, maybe not. Those are all even, so these are all odd, and they're not 7, so this is a 7. That's 3, 5, 9. This is a 1, 8 pair, but that can't be 8, so they get filled in. This digit, I don't know. Oh, no, hang on, I do. This is a 9 in the row. Well, I know it's 5, 6, or 7. That's what I know. I can colour this and that. And that is seeing a 4 by night's move. This one is seeing a 9 by vertical. That is seeing 9 by night's move and 5, so that's a 3. Goodness me, night's move is so powerful and sometimes so hard to spot. This is a naked single because of the 2 and the 4 that it can see, as well as everything in its box. So that's 8. This is 2 or 4. Oh, this puzzle. That is looking at that digit, which is now 2 or 3. By thermo, this must be 1 or 2. I really want to start colouring the 1s and 2s, but I'm not going to do that yet. This sees the 2, 3 pair. Oh, hang on, that sees all of the 5, 6, 7. And 4 and 9. I don't know where progress is meant to be made here. This digit, there's only 2 possibilities. It sees 7, 3, 5, the 1, 2 pair in its column, and it sees 8 and 9 by night's move. So that's 4 or 6. That's odd. Is that important? No, this is counting those 3. Yeah, I was gonna, right, thermo, look at that. Sorry if you've been shouting about this cell on the thermo. It's less than 6. So that's a 5. That's odd, and this is now counting 3 odd cells, one of which is a 7, that's a 6, that's even. This is counting 2, and that's even as well. Right, and we've got them all coloured up. Now this still doesn't see either of those 1 or 2 digits. We're doing great in rows 4, 5, 6 and terribly everywhere else in the puzzle. That 8 sees all of these cells and that one. So 8 in box 3 is up there somewhere. That means none of these can be 8 and that one can't be either. So 8 in box 2 is in one of those. Doesn't really do anything. 6, 1, 8. Okay, study the thermos because that's what I missed last time. Not obvious how they deal with anything else to me yet. Oh, that 3 is looking at that cell. There we go. 2 there, 1 on the thermo. Colour, colour, colour. Colour chameleon. There's a 2 in one of those cells now. Can't be here by night's move. 3, 5, 1, 2. What about this? This sees 8 and 7 on the night's move. So it's 4, 6 or 9 if I'm not missing anything, and I might be. That 2 sees all of these cells that can't be 2. I don't know, it's a bit tricky to keep going. Oh, this is counting 1 or 2 odd digits, but it's going to see an 8. That was the effect of that 8 that I pencil marked there. If that was a 2, the other 2 digits would be odd. The only odd number you could put in here is a 9 because there's a 1, 2 pair in the column as well as 3, 7, 5. You couldn't put a 9 or a 7 here. I don't know, I need more info. There's a 1 in one of these cells. There's a 2, we've done that. I'm not getting much going up and down the puzzle. I'm getting a lot more side to side in rows 4, 5, 6. Okay, look at this. 3, 8, 6, 1, 4. I'm not going to pencil mark that with 2, 5, 7, 9. It's too many. That 6 sees all of those cells. Oh, this, we can just do the count. How many odd digits? It's 4. Oh, didn't clear something into that bit of fog, which would have served me right if that had been sitting there available the whole time. Now that 2 can see these cells. That is quite interesting. 2 in this column can't be there either because of this 2. So it's ended up in one of those 3. I'm not going to pencil mark that across boxes, but it is indicative of the sort of reach some of these digits do have. Six goes in one of those 3. As well as the 8, I don't know, there could be an even digit. Actually, this digit, I was going to say it sees all the evens, but it doesn't see 8. That's worth looking for, though. Any digit somewhere. Look at this one. That sees all the evens because it sees that 4 by night's move. So that must be odd. I mean, it doesn't help me fill in a number or indeed work anything out about it, but it's still true. Oh look, that 5 night's move. Come on, Nighty McNightface, help me spot the actual things. That's a 3. Now we need a 3 in one of these 2 cells. Could easily be on the thermo. 2. Oh, that 1 has sorted out these 2 circles. Or, sorry, the 1-2 pair in this column. That's clearing stuff. Right. This digit cannot be 2 or 3. It's not allowed to be 5. So it's 1 or 4, and it's counting the odds around here. Now, if it was a 1, 4 of these would be even. They would be 2, 4, 6, and 8. And these would be selected from 3, 5, 7, 9. Okay, I just feel that's implausible. I know where 3 goes on this thermo. It can't go there because that would have to be a 2 on the thermo. So 3 goes here. This can't be 4, clearly. So I'm going to put 5, 6, 7, 8, and then think about this, which can't be 6 or 8, and is therefore 7 or 9, because it has to be higher than 5. And those are all odd. I don't know if this is going to matter. We're not getting any circles down here. That's now a definite 2. So there is another even digit. No, there are 2 odd digits. There are no even digits apart from 8 here. Therefore, the 6 in the box is not in those cells and must be in one of those 2. The 4 is a bit less helpful. It's in one of those 3. But the 6 being in one of those 2 means that 6 in this box is now forbidden from there and is definitely in one of these 2. 6 in box 1 is forbidden from all of those. That doesn't really do anything. We need another odd digit here, which is either a 9 here or, well, I don't know here. That 2 I can mark as even, obviously. Now, what happened down here? 5, 6, 7, or 8. That seems too many options and possibilities. 7 or 9 there. We're not seeing a knight's move digit, no. 3 is ruled out of all of these cells in box 9. And all of these cells in box 7. 1 is ruled out of those by this one, those by this one, so, and that one by that. There's only one place for 1 in box 7. Bizarre. That places 1 in box 9. I mean, this is clearing uninteresting fog in the sense that there's nothing underneath it, but it is clearing fog, and it's looking at that cell, which is now a 4, which was actually what I expected. Yeah, you say. You never said. I probably didn't, but I did think it was a bit unlikely that 1 would mean all 4 even digits were around here. This is odd because it sees 2, 4, 6, and 8, and that is that is one of 4 odd digits around here. 4, 3, 8, 6. That can't be 2, and that can't be 2, both by knight's move, so this is the 2 in the column. Gosh, it's quite hard to winkle these out, isn't it? So all of these are odd in the rest of the column. This one can't be 1 or 3. None of them can be 1 or 3. None of them seem to see any of the other digits by knight's move. So there are 5, 7, 9 triple that I can't resolve. And we've got 2 of the odd digits around that 4. There are 2 more here and 1 even. And there are 2 evens going on here. In fact, where is the 2 in the box? It's here in the corner. Oh, it's in a circle. Right, what does that mean? That means that only 1 odd is in this group. But I don't know if it's 6 or 8. Or do I? 6 sees that cell. This 8 pair, no, there's nothing here that they all see. Well, this can't be 8 on the Knight's move. Oh, I don't know what to do with 6 and 8 here. That 4 is seeing 1 even digit here. So there's 1 even digit and 1 odd in this pair. I don't know. There might be something I ought to be able to work out up there. It looked like it was going to be really helpful, and I didn't really get it. There's a 4 in one of those 2 cells in the column. There's a 1 somewhere in one of those 2. And that is one of the 2 odd digits surrounding the 2. And a 3rd one that's surrounding the 4. Just still don't know. There's a 1 in one of these 2 cells. How come I don't know where? That's bizarre, frankly. That's really strange that I can't tell anything about these ones. Oh, I'm struggling mightily here. 1, 3, so 8 in box 8 is in one of those 2 cells. That means 8 in box 7 is in one of those 3. 8 down over here. Oh, that one sees 2 of them, so 8's got confined to 1 or 2 places. Not quite getting anything done. 3 can't be in any of those, so 3 is somewhere here, including potentially in the corner. There's probably a humongous naked single sitting somewhere that's going to be really helpful. But I have to actually spot it to get that help. Oh, I'm feeling pretty dim at the moment. 3 in this box is in one of those 3 as far as I can tell. 1, 2, 3, 6, 8. That 4, no, we've already... Oh, that 4 sees all of these. So 4 in box, what's it, is in box 2 is in one of those positions. 4 in box 3 is in one of those. That doesn't look like it does anything. 7 sees all of these. Thrilling, ain't it? 9 in the row. I don't know what to do. I am finding this very, 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 very tough. Oh, there's one question about 1 digit that's going to unlock a ton of stuff. What is it? Right, this is not even because it sees all the even digits, 2, 4, 6, and 8, or in a row or column. By Rook's move, one might say. This digit, in fact, is 5, 7, or 9. And then it can't appear in those cells. Two is in one of these 2. 2, 1, 3, 4's in one of those, and therefore that can't be 4. Is that any use? Probably not. Oh my gosh, I'm really getting stuck now. This is what Knight's Move puzzles can sometimes do. They just mess with you. I mean, it'll be something utterly, utterly visible if you just know the right question. Okay, none of these can, that 5 means none of those can be 5. So the 5 in the row has to be in one of these 3 cells. And in fact, it can't be there by night's move. Then the 5 in this row, in this box rather, which can't be in those, is in one of these two, possibly on the thermo. But that means the 5 in box 9 is in one of those two. And now these can't be 1, 2, 3, 8 or 5 based on the pencil marking, the work I've done. So I've got 3 of a 4, 6, 7, 9 quad, and one of these two has to be an 8. If I could just work out which one it ain't, which one it isn't, it feels like that would be incredibly helpful. And I can't do that at all. I'm floundering and wallowing in quicksand at the moment. That can't be 1, 2, 6, 8, 7, 3. My whole strategy of marking every parity that I could find has turned out to be useless. This digit can't be 1, 4, 7, 9, also 6, 5 or 8. So that is 2 or 3. They are quite a limited pair. If it was 2, that would be 2. In fact, 2s are in a little X-wing down here, definitely. That can't be 9 by night's move. That's so uninteresting, it's ridiculous. Where does this go in box 8? Trouble is, it could be one of those two as well as there. Four, 1, 2, 6. This digit sees 6 and 7 as well as 2, 1, 3. I don't know. I don't know what I'm meant to be thinking. I'm so sorry. Wow, where are we meant to get the go forward? This sees 9 and 5 by night's move. But it can still be 2. It's such a shame. If that couldn't be 2, this would be a 4, 6, 7 triple. I think we'd make a huge amount of progress. As it is, not so much. They can't be 5 or 9 because of that pair. This one can't be 4, 2 or 3 either, or 7. This is 1, 6 or 8. Now, if that was 8, this would have to be 8. If it was 1, this would have to be 1. I would think about the circles. That's much more important than pondering imponderables. These, because of this 4, these are 1 odd and 1 even. Oh, I didn't really think about the 2. If that's odd, this is 1 of each. If that's even, these are both odd. That would be incredibly helpful. I don't need to do much more except identify one parity somewhere in those 4 cells. Then I would get some actual moving forward. I've got 8 in one of those 3. One of these is a 1. The other is from 5, 6, 7, 8. This can't be 6 or 7 or 2 or 3 or 9 or 4. It's 1, 5 or 8. I don't think it is that fiddly. I think I'm just absolutely wrecking this by not being able to see my way through it. I mean, it's hideous to come down to a kind of marking up exercise of pencil marks. Right, 7 can't be in those cells. So the 7 in this row is in one of those. Now, there are places they all see, but I think they're already seen by a 7. So, if that was an 8, this would be a 9. Oh, we need 2 odd digits round here and 1 even, and the even is the 8. I don't think I've worked this out properly. So, I mean, those are the things I've said, but we've got an absolute count on the box. This is 2 odds and an even, taking us up to 4 odds and 2 evens there. This, therefore, is 1 odd and 2 evens. And we've said they include 4 and 6. They're the 2 evens. Oh, it didn't quite clear anything up, did it? But there's an 8 in one of these cells, so that in the top row, the 2 is there, the 4 and 6 are here, and the 8 is there. These 2 cells are both definitely odd. Which, you know, I don't know, maybe it's interesting. Now, this needs 2 odd, so 1 odd and 1 even there, and that means adding up the box, 1 odd and 1 even here. And that includes the 4th odd in the row. I don't know how it helps. It was definitely valid stuff to spot, and it's done nothing. This odd corner, is that of any interest to us all? Where does the 1 in the top row go? If it's the odd in this group, it's there. Otherwise, it's here. Wow, I'm just so bogged down at this point. This is 3, 5, or 6. It can't be 8 on the night's move. One of those is a 6. One of those 2 is a 4, and one of those is an 8. So those are both odd. And I mean, I've known that forever, and it hasn't helped at all. Oh, one of those is a 4. And what did I say? One of these was even, and one was odd. Now, that doesn't stop this being a 6 or this being an 8. Only one of those will be true, and I don't know which it'll be. Let's say this was an 8. Then the 8 in box 1 would be in one of those 2 positions. The 8 in box 8 would be definitely here. Now, what would that cause? That would make this a 9. And an 8 here would make this a 7 and this a 6. And that feels it's interesting. So 8 there would force 6 and 9 in this box, and that would be a 4. 8, 4, 6, 9. 1, 3 would have... Oh, this would be impossible. That's really weird. If this was an 8, this cell couldn't be filled, because on the thermo that would be a 9. In the column, because of that being 7, this would be 6, and that would be 4 in the box, and there'd be nothing to put here. 4, 6, 1, 3, 9, 8, and it also sees 5, 7, and 2. Wow, so this is not 8. There we go. I mean, that is one heck of a hard-earned breakthrough. Let's hope it does something. Well, I hope it does something. That 8 sees this cell, and now 8 is definitely in one of those 2, and it's definitely in one of these 2 in box 1, and both of them prove it's not here. Both that 8 and one of those being 8 prove it's not here. And I think this has to be odd now. And now one of these is odd and one is even on that 2 count. And that's still not doing enough for me to actually progress. I don't believe this. How can this not be helping more? Come on. There's an 8 in one of those. There's a 4 here. What about 6 in the box? Just to keep something all non-even. No, can't see anything. 2, 3, 1, 4 are all unavailable here. Don't tell me it didn't get it done. It's so cruel. 9 is in one of these two cells. That's probably been available for a long time. But in the box, that's definitely true now. Now 9 is in one of these two, and it's not there. And 9 being in one of those two is interesting. If it was here... Oh, let's think about this being 7, because that might be not possible. That would be 9, that would be 6, that would be 4. 7, 9, 6, 4, 2. No. Okay, I didn't rule out a 7 from this cell. In the column, we would have 7, 6, 8, and a 1, 5 pair there, with a 7 here. If that was a 9, it would see both of those cells and force a 9 to be here in column 3, and we'd obviously, well, I don't know, I say obviously, I don't know what else that would necessarily do. Well, it would force one of those two to be a 9, I can see eventually. That's not enough. Didn't make anything impossible, which is the goal of all of these ruses. 1, 3, 8. If that was 4, 6, 2. If that was 7, how about that? This would be 8. In fact, we know 8's in one of those and one of those. Why doesn't that even on its own do some little thing? 5, 9 pair, looking at this cell, which can't be 5, 9, 2, 4, or 1. That still leaves a horrible number of possibilities. 1, 2, 4, 8, 5. Oh, there must be just something which settles this. I thought when I ruled 8 out of there, I'd found my way, and I absolutely hadn't. If that was 8, we'd have the knights move to there, so that would be 8 instead, and that. And down here, 8 would have to be here. And here. Now, what's gone wrong with those potential 8s? I don't think anything has. In fact, I'm sure nothing has gone wrong with that. It's probably right. 3, 6, 1, 8. Oh, I'm just missing some knights move. Curses, I'm sure I am. 2, 4, 1 in one of those cells. I mean, I've looked at these things so many times. What am I continually missing as I look at this stuff? Because there is something, I just know it in my bones. Got to use I mean, this is the only bit of the thermo that's in any doubt. The others are pencil marked down to death. These circles, they're not doing anything at this point either. They don't look outside their box. They don't find anything within. That's one of each color. So down here, okay, that's one of each color. So down here we've got 2 evens. We don't have 8. Well, that's quite interesting. Is that really right? Excuse me a second. Sorry about that. Now, wouldn't it be nice if I just sit back down and immediately see what I couldn't see before? No, I was talking about whether there's an even down here. Yes, because of that 4, this is 1 odd and 1 even. And on the count of this column, we need 2 evens down here, and we've already got 4. But we can't have 8. So one of these two is a 6, and it's in one of those 2 positions. And the 6 then in row 8 is in one of these 2 positions. Come on, do something. Oh, so close. If that was a 6, that would see both of those on the knight's move. And that would have to be a 6. And that would be a 6. Oh, come on, come on. One of these two is a 6. Why doesn't that solve it? Also, this is odd because it can't be 2, 4, 6, or 8. Ah! That's one of each. That's one of each. And it's got to be a 6 again because it sees 2, 4, and an 8 here. So one of those is a 6 and that is not, which was sort of obvious from pencil marking a 6 in one of those. This is 1 or 8. If it's a 1, that is an 8. Then we would have, if that was an 8, this would be 7, that would be 5, this would have to be even and would be 8. That doesn't do anything. Oh, crumbs alive. What on earth is happening here? 6 is in one of those 3 cells. Oh, here's something. If that was 7, this couldn't be 6 because that would be 6. So if that was 7, 6, 5, 4, 2, 9. 2, 7, 9, 5, 4. If that was 7, this couldn't be 6. I need to find one more circle under the fog in this puzzle or something. That might be what I'm failing to do. You know, there might be one cell that is now a naked single. I just can't see it. This one can't be 5 because of the pencil marking of 5s. It can't be 1, 4, 2, 7, or 3. It can't be 6 either. So that is 8 or 9, which is quite a high digit. Not probably going to do anything by virtue of just being quite high. If it was 9, that would be 7. This would be 5. Ah, okay, this doesn't work. If that was 9, this would be where 9 was in box 8. And you couldn't put 9 in any of those cells. 9 would be a knight's move away from itself. So that is not 9, that is 8. And this might be enough. This might be enough. Let's see. 8 there. This is now 8 in box 9. And those two positions for 8 were offset. That makes that interesting. Yes, that gives me 8 up here. It doesn't give me 3. It reduces 3 to 2 possibilities, both in this column. It stops 3 being in this corner. What happens to this corner? 1, 2, 6, 8. Not much else. It can't be 3, but lots of other possibilities for it, infuriatingly. This can't be 6 or 7. 6 is now, I've worked that out before, 6 is in one of those. The even digit up here, I knew that, is a 6. This is odd because it sees all those even digits. It's not 8. I don't know anything about what it is. I don't know anything about it. These are 6, 4 and an odd digit. There's an 8 up there. Come on, I've done something. Why isn't it yielding? That can't be 4 or 6. This is 7 or 9, given everything in the column. That's been available for a long time. That's odd. That one's even, obviously, because I've put in an 8 there now. Got 4 odds there. Why doesn't that do anything? This is a recalcitrant puzzle. It just won't give up. Oh, 8 there is looking at that cell. I do not want even to think about how long that's been available. Just a knight's move thing. I don't know. I hope I recently discovered that. I don't think I did. No, I bloomin' didn't. That's been available for ages. And like a numpty, I couldn't see it. Like a total muppeteer. Right, this is odd. We're counting around the 4. This is odd. We're counting around the 2. It's not 6. This is 6. 6 is even. Absolute knowledge bomb from cracking the cryptic there today. This is not 6. The 6 in box 3 is right there. That is looking down here. I think, oh look, we've cleared all the fog bar one cell. Put a 5 there. None of the 6s see. The 4 doesn't see either of those by Knight's move. I'm not having that. This can still prove difficult. I'm not allowing that to be the case. This is where 1 goes in column 2. That's where 1 goes in box 2. That is not a 1. 1, 8, 2, 9, 4, 3. This is 5, 6, or 7. Deep breath, some clarity. Come on, this is 5, 7, or 9. It's not, look, that sees a 4 in one of those cells and everything in the row and a 7 there. So this is now a 5, 9 pair in the column. This group of cells is 3, 4, 6. This one can't be 6 or 3, so that's 4. Four is blue perforce. Those can't be 4. I don't know what they can be. But they all see that. All of 6, 7, 9. Now, in fact, what have we got? We've got a 2, 3 pair living down here. That is 2 or 3. 1, 5, 8. So this is 4, 7, or 9. Why aren't they doing anything? I don't know. 8, 4, 2. I mean, it's mind-blowing that I haven't been able to finish off all the evens or all the odds yet. That is, oh, that sees 3, 5, 7. That is a 9. That's not a 9. Still don't know what the odd digit up here is, but I do know these are both even because we've got all the odds in their column. And that didn't do anything either. This is a 3 because it's the only place it can go in the box. That is not a 3, that is 5 or 7, and we do get a 3 in the corner finally. Thought we might have missed a last chance down there. That's 3 in the corner. Let's hope that a sing-song finishes off the puzzle. And it doesn't. We've done all the circles that we've been getting. We've cleared all the fog. There's no more circles to come, whatever I'm hoping for. Not going to happen in circles. That 5, 7 pair, they're not looking anywhere into box 3. This group, oh no, there's still that to resolve. Oh, don't say I've still got to find another knight's move. I can't bear it. These are from 5, 7, 9. That's pretty clear. Now I've nearly pencil marked every cell except this one, which can't be 6 and is therefore 4, 5, or 7. I've known forever that 6 was in one of those cells. It's not doing anything. This is driving me mad now. Oh, and now there's a commentary. Sorry. Go. What a fiasco this is. 5, 9 pair. Oh, 9 is looking at one of them. There you go. 5, 9, 5. Right. That is going to do it. I am determined. I am determined nothing else can hold me up now. And he said this with no idea whether he's right or not. 5. That can't be a 5. This is a 4, 9 pair. That's 7. And that's 5. And that's 7. And those two aren't. 4. No, nothing is seen. Come on, 7, 2. That's a 6. That's been available for ages in all sorts of ways. And it sees that one by the knight's move. That's what we need. It also sees this, the 6 does. Here we go. Here we go. This is happening now. That's become a 9, 1359 on the old thermo. Let's colour a few of these cells that we can. And a couple of other ones. This is as a 6 now. Yeah, this is happening now. This is the last one in its box. It's a 2. I can do the 9 and 7 there. That's a 3. I've got a deadly pattern, but it's resolved by this 4. 9, 4, 9. And before I put the last digit in, we will colour up. It's not quite the last digit because I've just spotted something in box 1. Here we go, 9 and 7, and now that's a 4, and that is it. Whoa, that shouldn't take that long, should it? Poor effort from me, but a great effort from Fezzy. That's a quite intriguing puzzle. It's not that difficult. I'm just so slow with the Knight's move sometimes. I'll see you again soon on the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and bye for now.